Am I the asshole for running away to give birth? Throw away because my husband follows my MIL. I, 23F, and my husband, 25M, have been together for 4 years, married for 2, and we were expecting our first child. My relationship with my MIL was never amazing, but before this, she always kept to herself, and so did I. And for the record, my relationship with my husband's father and brother was always really good. When I got pregnant, I told my husband that I wanted to keep it a secret for at least the 3-month mark, because my own mother miscarried 5 times in between my and my younger siblings, so I thought that this fact could affect my pregnancy. And because I remembered the heartbreak of my mom losing all those babies, I didn't want our families to feel it. He totally agreed, and even said it would be our cool little secret. 2 days after I told him, I got a text from my MIL saying that she knew it was a girl, and that it was selfish of me to keep the news of her baby girl away from her and her family. Just for the record, I was around 4 weeks pregnant at that point, so I had no idea about the sex myself, so I don't know where that came from. I confronted my husband, to what he replied, "You were not expecting me to hide this from my mom, right? She deserves to know. It's my child too." I was furious, and didn't talk with him for around a week after this. Needless to say, in a week after this incident, everyone already knew I was pregnant, and people were even mad at me for wanting privacy on this. Then the harassment from my MIL started. At around 4 months, my husband and I went to visit my family, and left my MIL responsible for watering the plants. When we came back, a whole nursery was made, all pink, with the name Olga Bertha painted on the wall. Keep in mind that I had no idea about the gender still, and of course, this was an extreme privacy violation. I had a harsh conversation with her, she cried, and my husband then got mad because I was mean to his mum. But this was just the beginning of the harassment. She was sending me articles every day about the bad effects of working out during pregnancy, criticizing what I had for each meal, and started crying because I wanted to exclusively breastfeed. She literally said, "Feeding my baby is a critical bonding moment, you're stealing that from me." For not wanting visitors for 1 month, and then the delivery room. To sum it up, she wanted to be there. I said no, I only wanted my husband there. She seemed a little hurt, but never talked about us again, until my husband was showering, and a message from her popped up. We had a lunch date on that day, so I assumed it was a location, and opened it. Just to find hundreds of messages of their plan on how she would get in the delivery room, when I was too tired to argue, to see her baby being born. I cried a lot when I was alone, not going to lie to you guys. But then I made peace with it. On that Monday I told him I was going to spend some days with my parents, and if something happened, I would tell him. I drove from North Carolina to Florida, where my family is, got into labor, and gave birth with my mum and my 2 sisters in the room, to a healthy baby boy, without my husband's knowledge. Now to the present, my son is now 2 weeks old, and I finally told my husband what I did. He's driving down here, and yelled at me for giving birth without telling him, and for not including him on the birth certificate, or name choice, and keeps saying that he and his mum will sue me. AITAH for running away to give birth. Edit, it seems to be a lot of comments about the name in the nursery. Olga Bertha was written, but close enough. Olga is the fake version of my MIL name, and Bertha of my MIL mother. About the 2 weeks of not telling him, we were not on good terms, just texting, so it was not hard to hide, honestly. Edit 2, for the ones criticizing my spelling and punctuation, I'm sorry if it's not up to your expectations, but it's the best I can do as a first-time mom that is sleep-deprived and gave birth 2 weeks ago. Thank you for your understanding. Update. https://reddit.com/AITAHS C26 UMQMNNJ